everybody. We here. I'm JB.
What's up? I'm Chris.
I'm Joe, everybody.
All right, and we're CJ Squared, just to get it out the way, right? Welcome to episode 8. Tonight we're going to talk about kind of our draft review from from the last week, right? Big NFL draft. We're going to talk about a big week in our NBA picks. Got a surprise announcement about our NBA picks. Big week in fantasy basketball. We know that at least one of us in this show will be in the fantasy championship of our basketball league. We're not quite sure yet. Maybe 2, maybe 1, but it will be 1 at least. We know that's a guarantee. And of course, right, we got our quick hitter questions about what's going on in the NFL and what's happening coming up for the next year. And we have the CJ Squared Elite 8. Which I keep hearing that it's one of the best, if not the best, Elite 8 in all of the continental United States.
Quite possibly.
Pretty much. And then we're going to hit you over the head with my man Joey's hot takes. And so let's get ready to roll. Up first, this draft that went down, a lot of people lost jobs, like Joey said. A lot of people
coming.
A lot of people are happy. A lot of people are mad. A lot of people didn't get the picks they wanted. But it's over now. And first question, I'm gonna throw it to my man Chris, Mr. Analysis himself. What is your take on the 2021 NFL draft, Chris?
I liked it. I thought the intrigue of all the quarterbacks, those first 5. I like it when there's a lot more of where we don't know where they're going to go. And I mean, obviously in the draft, you don't know anyway, but you know, with all the, you knew that at 3, San Francisco was going to take someone, and you were hearing Mac Jones the whole time.
Mac Jones.
And then they flip it and take Trey Lance. And then Pitts was I think they were doing a smoke screen there with him. And they knew all along that they were going to go Pitts. The trade up for Fields was huge, him dropping. And then Mac Jones, him going at 15.
Ooh.
So the quarterbacks were the talk. Mac Jones. The quarterback was the big talk anyway. I mean, that was leading. And, I think it wasn't really some massive trades other than the Fields one, I don't think. But overall, I thought it was a interesting draft. We did the live draft, and like me and Joey were talking, that thing flew by. We had a lot of fun doing that. It was I just thought it was an interesting draft the way they did it. It was nice to see fans actually there this year and getting pumped. They had the seat. I just thought it was a good draft, and it'll be interesting to see how this quarterback class does, because if it's going to be one of those really great ones. I mean, you talk about the Lamar Jackson class a couple of years ago. Most of those that was couple of those guys have turned out. So some of these guys are going to be bust, but then you probably know some of these guys are going to turn out. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I thought it was a good draft.
Okay.
Joey?
I will second that. I will absolutely second that. There was a lot of intrigue in this. There was a lot going on. All these mock drafts going up to the actual day. It was a very exciting Thursday, exciting Friday. I mean, Thursday, the first round, it was just all over. Excitement for everybody. Of course, going into the draft, every fan base thinks that this draft is going to get them closer to. Yeah, this is a strong draft. We're going to be right into the playoffs and possibly playing for an actual Super Bowl. So I will definitely second that. I also. That this was a huge draft when the news about Aaron Rodgers, which we will be getting to, Aaron Rodgers news came out, and there was no talk in the draft about the Aaron Rodgers news that came out. And that's some pretty exciting stuff coming from the actual draft. I mean, the focus was on this group of players that was being drafted. The focus wasn't on arguably the best player in the league. So that just shows you how exciting the actual draft was, and everyone was just focused on who are we going to have for for next year.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I have to second and third what you guys are saying, right? The draft was exciting. I'm not gonna even lie. Usually I don't even watch the draft, but since we started doing this show and we started talking about the sports more in our show, I have taken up the mantle and said, hey, you know what? Let me watch these things. Let me dive deep into the NFL draft. And it was exciting. That third pick had everybody on pins and needles. Nobody knew what San Fran was going to do. And at the end, they pulled the okie doke. At first, it was our boy. Who's our boy?
Mac Jones.
At first, it was Mac Jones, but everybody was clamoring for Justin Fields. And who did the 49ers take? They went in and took Trey Lance, right? So you never know, right? Oh man, even my team, I was hoping that my team was going to take Patrick Surtain, and what happened? He got taken the pick before that.
Oh, that was a crusher.
That was like it hurt me because I was hoping for it. I thought it was there, but it just didn't happen. But we end up getting a pretty decent player in Parsons, one of the fastest linebackers, if not the fastest linebacker in the draft this year.
Absolutely.
6'3", running a 4.39.
Look out.
That is a monster out there. All right. So
real quick, I did see that the NFL told, and I don't know if this is true, they told San Francisco to not leak because San Francisco, they knew who they were going to take. They told them not to leak it.
Oh, okay.
Because they wanted the intrigue.
Oh,
so in the end, it's still a business. It's still a business. So they knew what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, NFL is always behind the scenes.
All right, JB, you want to get into what do you get?
Yeah. I'm going to talk about, we did here at CJ Square, we did our own mock draft. Our first annual mock draft, our first one we did in terms of the NFL draft. Looking forward to doing some more. Looking forward to doing a better job, right? Because at first we were looking really good, and then the dominoes fell, and CJ Squared was 6 out of 32. And that's even counting the first two picks that counted. Everybody knew what was going to be taken, right? That's like Lawrence and Wilson.
So
everybody knew. So
we got 4 right.
4 out of 30 picks. Hey, the experts probably didn't do any better. So
no,
13%. 13%,
right? Check the experts and see if they did better.
Yeah.
If they did, it didn't because nobody knew what was happening. Experts had guys trading up, and nobody got the right trade ups. Nobody saw the Bears trading up. Nobody saw the Giants trading down.
They sure did.
The Cowboys trading down. So it's why it's called a mock draft, right? You don't know. You just hoping or you're thinking based on what teams may need or what they're going to do. So, but we also had an over and under, and we had over and under on 4 positions. We had an over and under on quarterbacks, pass catchers, running backs, and O-linemen, and cornerbacks, right? Pretty much the main positions in the NFL. QBs. The over and under was 5.5. Me and Chris took the under. Joey took the over. So that is what it is. Pass catchers, that's including tight ends, because we knew Kyle Pitts is a hybrid tight end. And we had the pass catchers. The line was 5.5, and we went 6. We went over, and it hit on 6.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
I think the person that took us over was I think it was Bateman, but Tony went. He was kind of like our surprise first round pick, right? Because we didn't even have him in our first mock draft in the first round.
No, we didn't.
Running backs, the over and under was 0.5, which as in terms of fantasy, running backs are like. In our league, anyway, I don't know about
get them while you can.
And running backs are like the main commodity, and we had them at the line was 0.5 running backs, and the over. We all took the over. So on pass catchers and running backs, we all got it right. because Najee Harris and Travis Etienne went back-to-back in the first round.
Yes, they did.
O-lineman, even this is the funny part, even though Joey in our mock draft took an O-lineman with almost every pick.
Give him to me.
Almost every pick.
Give me the biggins.
The O-line was O-line was 6.5. And me and Joey took the under and Chris took the over, which was or I think Chris was just trying to be different on that one.
Yeah.
I think he mentioned that in the show. He said he was trying to be different. And then cornerbacks, we thought the top maybe 4 would go. Horn, Surtain, Newsome, and Farley. But one guy snuck in, right? And the cornerbacks that were taken were 5, and we all took the under on that. So the over and under, we kind of did good in that as compared to our overall draft. We're gonna get better. I mean, it was fun. It was really fun just doing the over and under and fun doing the mock draft. And I look forward to doing this again.
We will get better.
Say what, Joey?
We will. I'm just letting the millions know. The expert analysis will improve for CJ Square.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, right? But now I'm gonna kind of throw it to Chris. Before I give it to Chris, though, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to everybody from our football fantasy league and our basketball fantasy league that came to our live draft show on Thursday. Looking forward to doing more live. Looking forward to doing more live things, right? And hopefully we get some of y'all to join us so y'all can interact with us. We can answer your questions, give you some shout outs. So shout out to all y'all and shout out to everybody who's going to start watching the show because I know you're coming. All right, Chris.
Yeah, so we're going to do another section of what we did last week. We called it the quick hitters, where we're basically we ask a question and it's really no big explanation. You just pretty much just give your answer. And so we got 3 of them this week. And so we're going to start off. Joe, you want to start? What was your favorite pick of the first round?
Devontae Smith to the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't believe I'm actually saying that because I hate the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. And they ripped my heart out.
All right. JB, what you got?
I would say my favorite pick, I'm not even gonna go with it. I'm not gonna be a homer. I would say was Justin Fields. It was just good to see that kid get drafted. Many thought he was the second best quarterback or even could be the first best quarterback.
He is.
Just to see him get drafted and to a team that has been starving for quarterbacks. The Chicago Bears haven't had a Pro Bowl quarterback, a real Pro Bowl quarterback, maybe in last 30 years.
Ever.
Right? So I would say for me, Justin Fields.
Chris's man's though. Chris's man's back in the day, JB, was a Chicago Bears quarterback.
Oh yeah, I was a huge Cutler fan.
Oh, Jay, I can see you liking Jay Cutler. I can see
that is Chris's man's right there.
Oh yeah, I was a big Cutler fan. All right, I'm gonna take Farley for the Titans took him just for the sake of, I think the draft is a crapshoot and you take guys with high ceilings, and he's a guy who you should roll the dice on. So I like them rolling the dice on the guy with top 10 talent. All right, now it's going to go your least favorite pick in the first round, Joey.
I'm torn. I'm thinking it was Najee Harris to Pittsburgh, but the Godfather talked me out of it. The Godfather is now satisfied with Najee Harris going to his Steelers. So since he's satisfied and his reasoning has actually turned me, I will go to Jamar Chase going to Cincinnati as my least favorite pick. Even though Jamar Chase is a flat out baller, I think they should have gone somewhere else.
Why is that, Joey? Now, I forgot. We're not saying why.
Don't say
okay,
why.
Good. Okay,
we'll
good.
Into those later. All right, JB.
So I would say my least favorite pick is probably that Oakland pick, that Leatherwood.
Yeah.
Leatherwood. I mean, it's my least favorite pick. I thought that Oakland would go in a different direction than that, or wouldn't reach for a player when there were a lot better players on the board.
All right.
Fans right there, JB.
I'm taking Travis Etienne. I think they had a solid running back, and then you just reach. I think that's a luxury pick that they don't have right now. I could see someone like the Bills or Pittsburgh, but they already got a running back. I just don't understand I don't understand. I mean, I guess you want a guy with game-changing ability, but whatever. All right. So Joey, which player will have the most fantasy impact next season?
I'm torn.
Torn again.
I'm torn right here. But I've decided the clear pick that's going to have the most fantasy impact, because he's going to have 1,000 yards receiving possibly. Kyle Pitts, tight end, Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Yeah, especially if they get rid of Julio. If they move Julio, then
may be gone. Absolutely.
All right, JB.
Nightmare.
JB, who you got?
Fantasy impact?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Najee Harris. I mean, I think even though Joey keeps saying they have no line to block for him, I think he's gonna be he's gonna be either a first or second round pick in fantasy drafts easily.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh running backs always kill it. So
always.
Yeah.
Except last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for last year. All right. Well, I'm gonna take Devontae Smith, just because I feel like he'll be their number one. They're sorely needing a wide receiver, so I think just opportunity gets him there. Even though I hated Etienne's pick, I actually could see him going off also, just because I think that by the middle of the year, I think they're going to try to feed him the rock,
Feed him.
All right. Now we're getting into, we discussed this earlier with Aaron Rodgers, the big question. He wants out. What would you do if you were the Packers, Joey?
Not doing a thing. He's under contract. He is under contract. Mm-hmm. He needs to report to work until he has decided that he has another job somewhere else, maybe hosting a game show. As of right now, he needs to report to work. Isn't it crazy how he is this deja vu? Wasn't this happening when number 4 was the actual quarterback there? And now it's happening to number 12. All this, shout out to Belinda Stakal, all this foolishness and malarkey that he's got going on. I mean, he's still so upset about they drafted another quarterback. How dare they draft a quarterback in the first round? He proved that yes, they didn't hook him up with weapons on the outside, but they still got to the NFC Championship, a game that they could have won. And so what's he so upset, about now? I just don't get it. He's still hurt about Jordan Love being drafted, and he's bringing back old stuff. He should be moving on. I love him. I love Aaron Rodgers. He may be the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's not Tom Brady. But bottom line, he needs to move on from what happened last year's draft and just get this thing going. He still is in his prime. They can still win.
Yeah. All right, JB.
I'm saying if the dude don't want to stay there, why keep him? It's just me, right? Because if you keep somebody there that doesn't want to be there, with football, you gotta have some camaraderie in the locker room. You gotta have some cohesiveness, right? You got a player there who does not want to be there. And when you don't want to be somewhere, you don't look at James Harden in Houston.
I see James.
What happened when James Harden was in Houston? What did he do? He didn't want to be there. They wanted to keep him. What did he do? He didn't play his best. He wanted
there's another turnover.
So why you drafted Green Bay? You drafted a quarterback in the first round. If Rodgers wants to leave, trade him, get some first round picks in the future, get some players you can use, and go with your rookie, your second year quarterback. Don't need to keep somebody who doesn't want to be there. I'm just how I am. If you don't want to be there, go. Why stay?
I got you. I see. I would say I read today that with Rodgers that if they let him go before, I think it's June 1st, that his dead money, it's like $32 million, the most dead money ever if they trade him away. If they trade him after that, then I guess you can pay it in 2 years or something. So I think if nothing's going to happen right now just because of that dead money. But if they want to move him, you really got to know what you have in Jordan Love, because people are saying it's like Carson Palmer the year he sat out and Dalton was there. They knew Dalton looked all right coming in and actually played pretty well.
Yeah.
They could move on at that point. They could move on. Now, Dalton took them to playoffs. He was never Carson Palmer, but they have to know what they have in Jordan Love for them to be able to. And I think that's what Aaron Rodgers has an issue with, is that they're not necessarily giving him the money he wants. They go out and they draft this young guy. I don't think that they are as invested as Aaron Rodgers wants them to be in Aaron Rodgers. And so I feel like they have, but it's crazy because what is he took them to an NFC championship last year. I don't know why you
that.
Yeah. So he's, and so, I mean, I get both sides. They've made a mess of this. The Green Bay Packers have.
Yes, they have.
They've left themselves in a position where they're in win now mode. And you got this guy in his prime still. I think you have to you have to hold on until at least you know what you have in Jordan Love, and then it'll make it a lot easier. Because if not, they're now in a Jordan Love position where you have him at quarterback, and yet you have a win now team with a rookie quarterback, basically a rookie quarterback coming in as far as playing time. It could be a disaster there, and they could be,
Kansas City kind of did the same thing, though, right? They drafted Mahomes. Not saying that Jordan Love is Patrick Mahomes, but they had a starting quarterback.
Right.
They got rid of him. And Alex Smith is not Aaron Rodgers by any means.
Mm-hmm.
So they were drafted in the same draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Chiefs did it, and they were okay. You know what I'm saying? So the Green Bay, I mean, like the worst this gets, right? When the season comes, then Green Bay will not be a contender because they won't. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to play for him in that locker room if he is like wanting to go. Trust me.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I think that Green Bay is in a mess. They've made a whole mess of this situation, and they should have just signed him for the 2 years a couple of years ago, got him all his money. He's deserved the money. Get him his money, and then let him play out this one more year, and then see what he does. Right now, Jordan Love hasn't proven anything. So basically, we're saying if he can be Mahomes, yeah, you're good. Mm-hmm. But if he's just a mid-level quarterback, then that's a huge drop off just because you don't want to, you kind of want to shorten the money and not pay him at the end. So, but I don't know. I mean, I think that it's just Green Bay is now stuck. And Aaron Rodgers has the leverage, I think.
Yeah,
I think Green Bay's got it.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay's got it.
You do. I mean, I think that, yeah, but if he doesn't play, and Jordan Love comes in and he's just average, now you've wasted Devontae Adams. You wasted all this ability to be. True. So I don't know. Maybe it's in the middle then. Maybe they both just suck it up.
Trade him to a team for another starting quarterback.
But they were offered, I think, by San Francisco. Maybe they were offered
Jimmy G and all those guys. I mean, at this point, and it's a long wait until the season starts. But at this point, man, if Rodgers wants out, he's going to get out. You saw what Hart. I'm just saying, when you have superstars that don't want to stay, normally they get out.
Figure their way out. Exactly.
Yeah, they get out. When you're a superstar, now when you are a star or like you a decent player, then you got to eat humble pie. But when you're Aaron Rodgers, you can be like, look, I ain't going to show up. What if he does a Carson Palmer and just says, I ain't playing?
Right.
Remember Carson Palmer did that? He said, okay, I ain't going to show up. I'm not going to play.
And then he just Yeah, they just
and finally he showed up for the Cardinals, I believe. He got pushed to the Cardinals after that. So yeah, you're right, Chris. Green Bay has made a complete mess of this.
Yes, they have.
And now they're trying to figure out a way out of it.
The biggest mess they made was in the NFC Championship game, giving up that daggone touchdown at the end of the quarter.
But also though,
the biggest mess right there.
Also, you have the MVP and you're down 8, and you don't give Aaron Rodgers a chance to, he never gets the ball out of his hands. They kick, right?
Yeah. That coach is a conservative coach by default most times.
But I did read that Aaron Rodgers said when on the third down play, he was unaware that was the play to end it all, right? He was thinking they had 4 downs to try to make a play there. And they gave Aaron Rodgers the call. He was allowed to make that call there. And he made a call. He said, if they would have told me you only get this last play, if not, we're kicking a field goal. He's saying the communication is just a mess as well because he has no clue what's going on.
Oh, there you go. That's how your communication a mess and you the NFC Championship game. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Saying, yeah. Crazy. Why would you not give me 4 downs there to try to win?
2 years in a row.
But that cat also had a wide open running lane and he chose not to throw the ball. Well, excuse me. He chose to throw the ball. Yeah, he chose not to run. He had a wide open running lane.
He has made all kinds of plays. Trust me, over the years, right? He's crushed my Cowboys over the years in the playoffs with big plays.
Yes, he has.
So I don't know, man.
But again, if he thinks I don't know if I'll get to the end zone,
right?
And and we're gonna kick it. It really doesn't matter. Maybe you know what I mean. Who knows what he does there?
Yeah, we probably we'll probably get back to this, Rodgers. This probably be an ongoing conversation throughout our season, right? We'll probably talk about it again at least once, twice before the season starts, right?
Definitely.
All right, so we're gonna kind of move on right now. So we'll talk about NBA a little bit, real quick. Big news: CJ Squared.
7 million, baby.
We won. We got the NBA picks, right?
7 million.
All right, we had somebody in our crew go 18-1 this week. So what a big win, because we have been
we've been close, but
sometimes we've been like absolute, like not even close. But hey, it's a big win for CJ Squared. And next,
huge
fantasy basketball. Bad news in Cooper, and what's that saying? Bad news in C-Town. Big Casey has struck out. I think your boy JB is going down tonight, and your boy JB is me. I believe I'm going down tonight on I'm probably gonna outscore this dude by like 300 points almost and still lose. Hey, that's fantasy basketball. My man Joey here. He not looking too good. So shout out to Chris. If Chris pulls it off, big shout out to him. I mean, he won our last official champion. I was the unofficial champion last year because the season ended. Hey, my fault, but I was still number 1, so I won.
Asterisk.
I took the asterisk, but I do have fantasy basketball championships under my belt. You can look at my check out my profile anytime you want to, Joey.
I've seen them. This is true. I will back that.
And not to mention, I just did win the NCAA bracket, so don't even. That's right.
There it is.
Where did you finish, Joey? Where did you finish?
49.
Yeah, I got you right. So, hey, you're gonna find a lot of fantasy discussion here at CJ Squared, and listen to this. Fantasy sports is meant to be fun, and sometimes it can hurt your feelings. Sometimes it can get you testy, but it's supposed to be fun and it's supposed to be competitive. And you can do your best. You can have the best team, and sometimes it just don't fall your way. That's fantasy sports.
That's just how things go.
All right. So,
if y'all ever need any extra expert analysis on your fantasy sports,
we got it. We got the analysis. I got the analysis, and I mean between me, Chris, and you, I think, man,
get it right here.
It's going to be some fire analysis. We talk about fantasy sports coming up this next season: football, basketball, maybe baseball, but I don't know. Right? Baseball, we got to work on that. I think Chris and Joey got me on that baseball, but Yeah.
Get
So
there.
you know what
But
I'm saying?
if I ever say sit go bear, don't listen to me.
Oh yeah, and if you're playing fantasy sports and you got a dude on IL, make a call to the commissioner like, hey, NBA, we need to start telling people they playing in the afternoon, not
Please,
five,
come
not
on.
for the game start. 2 minutes for the game start, man.
Come on, Adam Silver.
My man Sabonis dropped a halftime triple double.
Yes,
and
he
what did
did.
JB have him? On the IL spot.
On the bench.
Yeah, on the bench because I didn't know he was playing, right? But anyway, now it's time for one of the bright spots in your Sunday or your week, your life, the CJ Squared Elite Eight. Tell him, Joey. Tell him.
Tell him what it's about. You all know what time it is. The greatest Elite Eight in the history of all Elite Eights. And let me tell the millions what we got going on this time. What we got going on this time is, of course, the analysis of the 2021 NFL Draft. Chris has after all of the going back over, checking over, giving teams grades, Chris has found eight drafts according to CJ Squared. Eight drafts of who we think had the best draft of the 2021 NFL Draft. Let me remind the millions while I'm here is that this is going to go by a majority rule. You may not like what you're going to hear. It's our opinion. This is CJ Squared's opinion.
CJ
okay?
Squared.
So we have eight teams. You'll hear what these teams are as I go through each bracket. Okay, we're going to start at the very top of the bracket. We have the Bears draft: Justin Fields and Tevin Jenkins versus the Bears are the number 1 seed, by the way, versus the number 8 seed, the G-men from East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Boo!
Kadarius Toney, wide receiver from Florida. Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher, Georgia. JB, you go first.
JB going first. As you can tell, I represent the NFC East. And I definitely not voting for the Giants here, right? I am going, and it's not because I'm a Giants hater, even though Daniel Jones will not throw for 35 touchdowns next year or 4,200 yards. I mean, they already have receivers. Why do you need Toney? You got Golladay, you got Slayton, you got Shepard, right? You got a tight end who is a great player. You need Toney. So, and the Bears, like I said before, are starving for a real star at QB. So I'm going with the Bears.
The Bears. JB's pushing the Bears.
The Bears, the job. You know who the job is looking at.
Where you going, Chris?
Actually, so earlier we when the night of the draft, we were knocking the Toney pick, and but earlier we were talking about how teams are going and they're trying to find that Tyreek Hill type of guy that can do a lot of things, and you can line him up in different spots. So I don't necessarily mind the pick as much, but I think if Fields works out and you can hit on a franchise quarterback, this league, that's huge. And I think that them trading up, they needed to trade up to get somebody, an elite guy. Wow. So to me, I'm also going. I'm going.
Chris
Bears.
is agreeing with me. Ooh,
that's right.
I'm looking good tonight, baby. I'm feeling good tonight.
The Bears draft has gone through majority rules. If my vote does not matter, but I would have also gone the Bears because
against your Giants
quarterback.
Against your Giants
is the truth.
Against the G-men?
Absolutely. I'm going against my own boys.
All right, real quick though, honestly, Joey, tell me just a quick 10 seconds. Tell me your true feelings about the pick at Toney at 20 when the Giants actually traded down and could have got a better receiver if they stayed where they were.
Some do say that. I was one of those people.
Okay.
I wasn't very happy with the Tony pick. I do get there. I mean, this is the ultimate copycat league. Everyone's always looking for the next cheetah.
Yeah.
And this is the Giants doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
We'll see if Tony gets onto the actual field. Like you said, the Giants are loaded at. I mean, I'm not saying that they're the best wide receiver.
They have a quality bunch.
Yes, they
have a great running back, a great tight end. Their only real question mark is the quarterback.
Quarterback.
Right. And your boy Urban Myers was mad that he couldn't draft some kids. So he get a chance to show what he got. But yeah, I'm still Fields going to the Bears was like big. Huge.
Absolutely. Let's go to the bottom of the bracket, the number 2 seed, the Cleveland Browns. The Browns decided to take with their first pick, Greg Newsome, cornerback from Northwestern, and with their second pick, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker from Notre Dame. They're going up against the number 7 seed Denver Broncos, who took JB's Mans, who did not quite get there.
My Mans. Man, I was hoping and praying.
Mans right there.
That's my Mans, yo.
And second round pick, Javonte Williams, running back, Chapel Hill. Chris, where you going?
Boy. That's Chris boy, ain't it? Chapel Hill.
That's right there.
Yeah, I'm still going. I'm going Cleveland. I think they had a few needs to get, and I think I would say Newsome kind of fell to them, because I heard some people were talking about them even trading up to get Newsome because they need that another quality cornerback. And then we actually had Owusu-Koramoah as our 18th guy, and I don't think we were alone there. Yeah. And then you get him in the middle of the second round. So just value alone, I'm going to go Cleveland.
Cleveland's through for Chris. JB, where you going?
I agree with Chris. I mean, Cleveland, if you see a lot of their big games, they won. They scored a lot of points, but they gave up a lot of points too, right? I mean, they went 10 and what they won 11-5 this year.
Yes, they did.
Like that, right, 11-5, and I mean they won a lot of big games, but they scored so many points and gave up so many points because their DBs were questionable. They need to get better at linebacker. So I think, like Chris said, man, getting these two guys, that solidified them going forward. And the Broncos took my man. So Broncos take my mans from me. I ain't counting you. But then they did take what some say should have been the first running back taken, the kid from Chapel Hill, Williams. They say his comp is Nick Chubb. Right, so that's
we know what Nick Chubb does.
Yeah, Nick Chubb is in terms of yard per carry and after contact carry, he's right there with Derrick Henry.
Yes, he is.
He's a monster. Healthy. So yeah, but anyway, I'm getting to my fantasy mind here. So, but I'm going with Chris and taking the Cleveland Browns at 2.
Browns are through. Doesn't matter what I think, but I would have gone Browns too. Anything that's going to give their all-pro bookends support, I'm all.
Here we go.
I'm all for.
Here we go.
Let's go.
One all-pro bookend there, buddy.
Let's stay at the bottom of this bracket.
Did y'all see him at the NFL draft?
Did not see him.
He looked massive.
That dude looked like a monster, man.
The one girl
was like. Miles Garrett, Pebble Hawk up there. That dude,
I heard Rich Eisen was like, it looked like someone's been in the gym.
Yeah, that dude.
I believe it because I saw the picture of him playing basketball.
Yeah,
Did you see him with his tank top on playing basketball?
Oh, he is freaking huge.
Oh my gosh,
that dude's a man.
Crazy.
Especially when
what do you call him? He's a specimen.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Some lab type stuff.
Yeah,
Super soldier serum.
What was that quarterback thinking of picking a fight with him from the Steelers?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, he doesn't even need the helmet though.
Yeah, what is he thinking?
I mean,
he's a maniac. Let's stay down at the bottom. He took that helmet off.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh my goodness. The number 3 versus number 6 seed, the San Diego Superchargers First pick, Rashawn Slater, tackle, Northwestern. 2 Northwestern kids, first round. And the second round pick.
They had a good team. They were giving Ohio State a run for the money and
Big
took
Ten
the ball over in the
championship
second
game.
half.
Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
Second round pick, Chargers, Asante Samuel Jr. I think you all, the millions should know that name.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 seed, New England Patriots. Come on, JB.
Who they take? Who?
Mac Jones.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Quarterback, Alabama. And their second round pick, the national championship most valuable player.
Defensive valuable player.
Defensive tackle, Christian Barmore, who some say could have gone in the first round. Clearly, Alabama is running a AAA affiliate
for the Patriots, right?
That is via the old Godfather said that. I'm quoting what the Godfather said. JB, let's go you first.
I mean, this is a good matchup, right? But I would say I'm gonna go with the Chargers because they really, I mean, the new Patriots too. But is Mac Jones ready to start this year? Or is he going to start? They brought in weapons for him, but I don't think he's going to be the starter. But the Chargers needed somebody to hold their line up for Herbert, right? He had a big rookie season, so he will hit that sophomore slump. Need some good blocking, and they definitely need some help in the secondary. I mean, they play in the AFC West.
Woo.
You got to go against the Cheetah. You got to go against Ruggs, and you got to go against Darren Waller, the baller, right? You got to. I mean, who else is in there? That's Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos. Broncos are loaded at receiver. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. Chris Floyd, Tim Patrick. I mean,
big old Tim Patrick.
You need some cornerbacks out there and shit. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers at 3.
Give me New England. I take just for the fact that they didn't have to move up. I like that everyone was talking about New England was trading up for Mac Jones. The fact that you could say Mac Jones, the fact that they could stay put
out of that, but we're not.
The fact that they could stay put and still get their guy that they probably wanted the whole time.
Yeah.
And then you get a first round talent in the second round. I mean, Slater's the same way. I think Slater was a guy who, people were mocking up to, at one point people were saying maybe he's better than Sewell because he can play any of the positions on the line, but I'll still take New England just for not having to move up to get your guy.
That's your guy.
Joey, who you got now?
All right. Where is the majority going to go here? Chargers versus the Patriots, due to the fact that they had a phenomenal year from their rookie quarterback last year, and they got a piece to keep him onto the field and keep him upright. They got weapons around him. Slater falling to the Chargers and the Chargers jumping on him, I think was a huge move for them. People think that they can really give Kansas City a little run. I think experts really do think that. So because of this excellent draft of this excellent tackle, who I think may be the best tackle also, the Chargers will be going through.
Joey, you didn't go with Chris? Oh my
goodness.
Oh no!
The Chargers will be going
going
through.
on? Oh my God! Okay.
Let's go to the top of the bracket, the 4-5 matchup. The number 4 seed, New York Jets, number 1 pick, Zach Wilson, quarterback BYU. Their second pick was also a first-round pick, Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive lineman, Southern Cal. Chris, where you going?
You forgot. You talk about you said what Detroit did.
Oh, sorry about that. Let me go to the number 5 seed, Detroit. I almost said Pistons. Lions, Penny Sewell, offensive tackle, University of Oregon, Eugene. And the defensive tackle, Levi from Washington, because I can't say his last name.
I mean, I got to go with the quarterback here and with the Jets. I think that if you get your guy, everyone's calling him a chance to, be a Rodgers type of guy. And then they trade up, get Vera Tucker. Now we were talking about before, you got Becton and Vera Tucker. You got an offensive line that looks like they're coming in. I mean, I still think they took a running back later in the draft that everybody was pretty high on. So I think it looked like the Jets to me are moving in the right direction. So give me the Jets.
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 Where you going, JB?
I'm going with the Jets as well. I mean, even though Chris said the blasphemous stuff of comparing Wilson to Rodgers,
that's just his comp. I'm not saying.
Yeah. I know. Come on, yeah. They seen him throw the ball across his body. But they also showed Jimmy Garoppolo doing it too.
Yeah, true.
That's a Shanahan playbook right there. And look, all of them together, they run them same plays. But Wilson got a chance to be special. I mean, it's hard to be special in New York. Can he handle that pressure of the big city coming from Provo? They got an awesome lineman. Joey mocked him real high in the draft. Detroit got, possibly the best lineman, but I thought Detroit Lions should have gone a different direction here. I thought they should have drafted a receiver since they lost all of them basically. And they only brought in Perryman from the Jets, who's on his a new team again. And maybe the Lions are going in a different direction in how they play call and, getting back to biting kneecaps and, and all that stuff. So maybe they didn't feel like they needed wide receivers. And they got a bad history. But they got a history of drafting some bad first round guys and receivers. And they drafted Megatron, like one of the best receivers ever. But I'm still going, like I said, with the Jets, right? Going with Chris.
The Jets are through. I would have gone Jets as well. Let's go down let's start the Final Four. Let's go back down. We got the number 3 seed San Diego Chargers versus the number 2 seed Cleveland Browns. AB, let's start with you, please. Let me remind you, Browns have Greg Newsome the second, as well as Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah
versus Wilson, the quarterback. I'm gonna help you out here, buddy.
No,
Wilson, the quarterback, and
Slater.
Chargers, Slater,
sorry.
and Asante Samuel Jr.
Let me shut up. That's right. I'm looking at my sheet. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Cleveland because Cleveland was kind of on the cusp of challenging the Chiefs for the playoffs, and they are lacking on defense, and they brought in 2 guys with first round grades to help their defense.
Yes, so they did.
I'm gonna go with the Brownies here.
Browns are through for JB. Chris, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm Browns too. I think you get 2 guys you're probably a little bit of steals on Newsome, and then another Owusu-Koramoah. I think many guys had him going to the Washington. So, you get him late second round. That's a ton of value in positions that they need. They fill their guys and they get value. That's all you can ask for when you draft. So give me Cleveland there.
Browns are through. I'm going Cleveland as well. Let's go to the top other Final Four matchup. Number 1 seed, the Bears.
The Bears
versus the number 4 seed Jets. Battle of quarterbacks
and O-linemen.
Battle of quarterbacks and O-linemen.
Where we going, Chris?
I guess I have to think with the Jets trading up, and both of these teams trade up. I actually think Chicago gives up a little bit less, and they get up their quarterback, and you wait and you get Jenkins, who we had as probably a late first rounder, that kind of level.
I believe
so. You get him in the second round. You have to really jump up to get Vera Tucker. So I think this is a close one because they're very similar. Really, it almost comes down to who I think, Fields or Wilson, who's going to be better. And I think I like Fields better. So give me the Bears.
Bears are through for Chris. JB, what about you?
I am right there with Chris. I mean, he pretty much said it just as good as I could have said it, even probably better. I'm going with the Bears here with I think a more dynamic quarterback and that has a bigger chance to make a
unless Wilson is Rodgers, then
unless Wilson is Rodgers, then that's going to be another thing. It's going to be hard to beat Rodgers in New York with the Jets, but I mean, you know, they haven't really had any QB since maybe Testaverde. Chad Pennington had a little cup of tea there and did some good for them. And of course, Mr. Butt Fumble himself, Mark Sanchez, who had Mr. Butt Fumble. But yeah,
he did get them to the playoffs, right? He did get them to
the championship games 2 years in a row, but that was more defense and running the ball than quarterback play. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Fields and the Bears.
The Bears are through. If my wife was in this meeting right now, she would also put her stamp on that. She loves Justin Fields. She's been following him since high school. Mm-hmm. If she was here, she would also put the Bears through.
She'd get her vote in.
She would put her vote in on that. We now have a championship game. The Bears, number 1 seed, versus the Browns, the number 2 seed. Oh, we got the 2 best drafts going at it right here. JB, where are you going?
I am going to go with the Bears. I think them moving up to get Justin Fields after the Trubisky debacle, right? I think that was. I mean, the Browns did a awesome job of solidifying their team, which is already a playoff team. But the Bears sorely needed a QB, even though they did do a post that said Andy Dalton is QB1.
QB1.
QB1, baby.
QB1.
The Red Rocket. I don't think the Red Rocket will be QB1 past. What the over and under on that? I'll say 5 to 6 games, maybe.
Okay.
Right? The over and under before Fields is on the field.
We got to mark that.
And work. Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about that, right? But yeah, I'm going with Fields here and the Bears.
The Bears are through for JB. Chris.
I'm going opposite. I'm going Cleveland.
Yes. Put the onus on Joey again.
Well, I just like that when you get value, not have to trade up, guys come to you and you get your needs filled. Those 3 things, I think that makes that a perfect draft for you. They don't have to jump up to get anyone. And it's not to say anything's wrong if you need someone like the Bears needed a quarterback. Cleveland has been in a good spot right now where they can wait for their guy to come to them, and then you get a first-round level linebacker who now at this point looks like a guy who we're talking about. Tony has the ability to play multiple positions and do different things. You get a guy in that on the defensive side who now you can put him at the nickel, you can put him at safety, you can put him at linebacker, and he's kind of.
You talking about Coromora playing safety?
Well, because he's only about 215, 220.
Oh, okay. I see them lined up on the defensive end spot.
Well, yeah. So I think they like to move him around and do a lot of different things. So it's a guy who
plays they play a 4-3 in Cleveland because they got Joey's boys. I mean, his bookends.
Yeah, bookends. So I think it gives you that ability to now defend teams in multiple ways and have a player like that. I think he's kind of that Jabril Peppers type of player, that everyone was hyping up that. And I don't necessarily know if they've ever really found a use for him greatly in New York, but you want a guy like that can play multiple positions. So
Jabril Peppers plays for the Giants, right?
Yes, he does.
Remember, he did play
for the Browns.
They tried once. They tried.
Okay, yeah.
But to me, if you can do that, and you even if he doesn't work, you're finding value in the second round. That's to me what it's about. So I'm gonna put it on Joey. I'm taking Cleveland here.
And
how you say it, Joey? Cleveland.
Hello, Cleveland.
Hello, Cleveland. Hello.
JB brought up that was a very physical playoff game between Cleveland and Kansas City, and Cleveland was in that game until the very last, until late in the fourth quarter. Cleveland has reloaded their bookends. Let me remind the millions. All pro ability on the ends. They got 2 first-round studs to go along with those bookends. Cleveland is ready to rock.
Oh, okay.
Hence the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Cleveland. But in the end, Justin Fields is going. However, Justin Fields is going to possibly be multiple-time Pro Bowler, maybe even an All-Pro one day. The Bears have won this because of Justin Fields. Congratulations, Bears! You had the best draft.
Hey, I think they both have good drafts, right?
Yes, they did.
Right? Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Well, I think anytime you get a quarterback, it's going to swing in that way because it's a more important position.
Yeah, of course.
I think a cornerback is with the 26th pick is not. It's not that sexy compared to trading up for a franchise quarterback. So
don't worry, folks. Your boy JB has the draft database all worked out, and we're gonna keep track of all these booms and busts in the future. So for future
yes, we are.
When we in show like 200 and 300, we're like, was that guy a bust or a boom? You can look back. We're gonna have it for you, right?
Right at our fingertips.
We put it together for you, right? And
all right, well that was good. I'll take that loss because I like Fields.
yeah. I'm hoping that I honestly don't wish bad on any of these guys. I want everybody to get paid and have good careers.
Absolutely.
But I really do hope that Fields does well in the NFL because I think he was given a bad rap, right?
Yes,
I think he should have been definitely a top 10 pick. Completely. He didn't go in the top 10 based on, I guess, needs or whatever. But I hope that for him and Chicago that he steps up and can be a decent player, or even like Joey said, an all-pro at least.
Absolutely.
All right. So now we are at the point of the show where things get real crazy. All right. So I know that y'all always wait for this right here.
Our millions.
I know you're thinking, man, how hot will this guy's pick be this week?
Telling you,
you just don't know, man. This guy, speaking of hot picks, this guy is the reason that CJ Squared is the NBA picks champion right now.
Yeah,
with his hot picks all week. He's been the hottest all week, right? I even had my boy Hot call the show. And it still wasn't hotter than Joey is right now. So here we go.
That's out to the hot one.
It's time for Joey's hot takes. Go ahead and hit him with it, Joey.
Well, I actually told my brother-in-law this today. He is a huge Kentucky Derby fan. Huge Kentucky Derby fan.
I am. Yes, I am.
And I was surprised that was not on our list to talk to the I was very surprised by this. But if the millions did not know, the Kentucky Derby was run this past weekend. Medina Spirit was the winning horse. But I think the stat that really comes up is that the trainer for the horse that won, Bob Baffert, I guess won his
it was
seventh one.
Yeah.
All time now.
His seventh one. So that is an amazing feat in the horse racing world. Isn't it crazy that horse racing used to be the most popular sport in this entire country? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy.
Horse racing, baseball.
Those two sports.
So the second leg of the Triple Crown, the Preakness Stakes, will be run on the 15th of May.
Uh-oh.
The second leg will be run. The horse, Medina Spirit, will finish in the top 3.
You gotta give me something better than that, Joe.
You
Gotta
know what?
come out.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Bob Average just set a record. Medina Spirit will win.
Now that's a hot take.
Fuck it, JB.
You sure you don't want to go second?
Medina Spirit will win.
Oh
Between
man.
the Saints.
That's a
All
hot
right.
take. That's a bold hot take. All right. Well, we only got what? We got what? 3 weeks before it's a Preakness, right?
Preakness.
Yeah, so that's
Check it out, people. They got JB watching horse racing now. Oh my
2
goodness.
weeks.
Now
It's
they've got the
2
Preakness
weekends.
coming up. Awesome. The Triple Crown.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks
We'll
now.
find that
out.
Okay. 2 weeks.
Shouts out to Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger. 2 weeks.
All right, everybody. So that's a wrap for tonight. CJ
Yeah.
Squared, come back next week. We're gonna be talking about how we're getting closer to the end of the NBA regular season. We're gonna break down what happened with these fantasy basketball results, and we're gonna have more stuff for you. If you have not, Joy give you a hot take. I'm gonna give you a hot take on some stuff. If you have not watched Invincible on Amazon,
Tell him, JB.
please watch Invincible. That show, it's a cartoon, but it is really good.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
Invincible. Shout out to Monica Abrams for putting me on to that. Right? She said, Jason, you gotta watch that Invincible. So I binged it this weekend. I watched all 8 episodes on Amazon. And I did, and it was amazing. So that's my stuff for y'all today. I'm JB.
I'm Chris.
I'm Joey.
And we'll CJ Squared. We're gonna holler at you next week. Get at us.
Right.
And the melody, your eye. And the melody, your eye. And the melody, your eye, so true.
Smooth. That sample is crazy. People call me young and dumb cause I ain't done enough. My life is changing, I turn 18 in a couple months. I know that graduation money's finna come in clutch.